Hello everyone and welcome back to the YouTube channel. It's Rachel here with makersgonnalearn.com, your ultimate die cutting community. And today we're going to be talking about mistakes that you make when trying to sell your Cricut projects. I'm very excited to break these down for you guys because they are some really common mistakes that will cost you guys a lot of money in the long run, and we are here to correct that. First and foremost, I want to go ahead and let you guys know if you are interested in building a professional business and learning the ins and outs of selling your own products, we have an amazing free resource that you guys can click and download down below. So click that link and get access to your free roadmap and guide to selling your own projects. We're going to be talking about the 4 most common mistakes and how you guys can correct those. I'm super excited to jump into all these. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Number 1, and I hate to say this guys, I have seen this all over the place on super expensive Etsy shop pages, even in the Facebook marketplace, and that is people trying to sell crafts using fonts that have not been kerned. Now, if you guys are not sure what kerned means or some of those beginner terminologies, I do have a great video that I will link down below for you guys to get a little bit more familiar with those beginner terms as far as Cricut is concerned. However, kerning, basically what it means is you are eliminating the space between a cursive or script font. You need to do this in order to have a professional looking word or phrase. It is 100% necessary in most, if not all, cursive or script fonts, and it's a mistake that you guys make time and time again. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to turn you guys over to Cricut Design Space, and we will share with you how exactly to kern your fonts and to avoid this mistake. Okay guys, here we are in Cricut Design Space, and we're using one of our over 500 amazing fonts at Makers Gonna Learn. This font is called Ballin', and I have used this font to demonstrate a simple word, hello, and the difference that kerning can make. So on the line above, you can see hello unkerned, just how we typed it in the text box. And then below that, you can see a professionally kerned the word hello. And I can't wait to share with you guys how simple it is to fix this very bad Cricut mistake. So if you go up here and you click on your text box, you can see all of your letters are separate. You need to close the gap. There are several ways you can go about doing this, but this is how Makers Gonna Learn recommends doing it. The first step you will make is to go up here on your layers panel and click ungroup. That makes every single letter its own text box. Now what you're going to do is click the letter next to the first letter and use your arrow keys. What this is going to ensure is that you are not accidentally moving your letter up or down whenever you are trying to scooch it closer to that first letter. So use your arrow keys on your keyboard, and we're just going to move that over one by one over to our H. Now that we have both of these kerned, we're going to move on to our L and move it over the exact same way. Now, once you get a little bit more advanced with this, you can start gathering more than one letter at a time, just like we did here with our L and our O, and scooch them together so that you have less room to have to move your other letters, if that makes sense. So now that your L is over here and your O is right here, you just take it, same thing with your arrow keys, and scooch that over. Now, once you have all of these touching, they look great. What you're going to do to make sure that this cuts properly is weld. If you do not weld, let me show you what this is going to look like. We're going to take both of these and quickly change this from a cut to a draw. Now, this is an incredible visualization that actually Becca showed me how to do, and it is amazing at showing you guys the difference here. As you can see, when this is turned to a draw, you can clearly see the lines here that are going to cut into each other if you leave this how it is and you cut, or even if you just attach it. In order for this to work properly and to cut as one whole word, you have to weld it. So with all of the letters selected, and you know they're all selected by looking over in the layers panel here, you can go down here and click weld at the bottom of your layers panel. Once you click that, you can see over in the layers panel, it has changed from all separate text boxes to one text box by itself. This is a successfully kerned word. You must do this every time you work with a cursive or script font. Now you will have success every single time. Another mistake that a lot of beginner people make when they are shipping out their projects is not shipping them with care instructions. This goes for if you have a mug that you have sealed, which we will talk about in a moment, or if you have a t-shirt with HTV on it, which needs to be washed, let's say inside out with mild detergent, things like that. You want to make sure you're giving your customer all the information so that they can take care of the product that you made properly. So we're going to go into Cricut Design Space, and I'm going to show you a really simple care instruction template that you guys can create using our fonts. You can have some that are pre-made, you can have some that are already cut out that you can just pop in with your orders and ship out, but that is something you really need to make sure that you include in all of your orders, no matter what it is. Okay guys, here we have a really easy little template for a care instruction card that you guys can take and follow and reuse. All we did is use one of our fonts called Mary Catherine, and we simply welded this to a square. All we wrote is, "Thank you for your order. Because we want this item to last forever, we have sealed it for you. All we ask is that you wait 3 weeks before use. Then it will be fully cured. Enjoy." This is just a sample of what you guys can write. This is meant for a cup that we have sealed, and if you guys know anything about sealing a cup, it does take 28 days to fully cure. You can ship them after they've dried, but it is important to let your customer know that if they have chose to have it sealed or you wanted it sealed, to let them know that there are limitations with that until that sealing process has fully cured. Now this is the same process you will use if you have a t-shirt or anything like that. Tap out what you would like to say, kern it if it's a cursive font, of course, and if not, just simply flatten that onto a shape that you have changed the color, and then have your Cricut print and cut that out, or you can use a different device or software and mass produce those, however you want to do it, but it is super important to always have care instructions with all of your projects. The next mistake you might be making is not sealing your projects. Now this goes along with, like we mentioned, those care instructions earlier. You want to make sure whatever you do to your project, you make the customer aware of. That includes sealing. Something like mugs is probably the most popular item that you are going to get a request to seal, and you can choose in your business on your Etsy shop or what have you if you want to include sealing in that price or if you want to add it as an additional cost. Totally up to you. Either way, if you seal, make sure that you let them know, but make sure that you're sealing your projects correctly. We do have a couple of videos on how to seal these properly, so I will link those down below. There are different methods depending on what you want to create, but I think personally it is a good option to allow your customers to choose if you want to have them sealed or not, because you want to let them know if it's not sealed, it might not last as long because you can't put it in the dishwasher. You need to hand wash it and make sure that you dry it quickly. However, if it is sealed and cured properly over that 28-day period, then it is also food safe and dishwasher safe. So there are some definite benefits to sealing them. I would let your customer know and just make sure that they have all the information so that they can make that informed decision if they want that project to be sealed or not. But as a business owner, I think it's super important to have that option available. It just makes you guys seem a bit more professional, makes you guys seem like you want your product to last the customer forever, which is a really good sign. Another reason why we feel it's a very good idea to go ahead and seal these if the customer asks is because you might get some complaints a month or 2 months later from your customer saying, "Hey, I put my mug in the dishwasher and it peeled up. What do I do now?" That is why you want to make sure that you seal these and give your customer all that information so that they can have success with the products that you make. The last and probably the most important mistake that you guys are making is all about packing things incorrectly. There are 5 major points that you guys need to make sure you're following when packing anything that you intend to sell. Number 1 is having the proper sized package for the item that you're selling. You don't want to put a mug in a bubble mailer, and you don't want to put a towel in a box. There are just things that you need to make sure that you are going through and doing correctly as far as shipping, because you do not want to make yourself pay more for shipping. You don't want to have something arrive to your customer broken or damaged, things like that. So you have to be super, super careful about what you choose to put in what. For example, a mug would go really, really well in a little box like this. A car decal would do great in a small bubble mailer or envelope. A t-shirt or decorative towels would do amazing in bubble mailers that are a little bit larger, just like this. Do some research, and if you guys would like way more in-depth information information on what and how to package your products. We have a lot of training in Design Make Sale. Again, if you want an amazing free booklet, go ahead and click the very first link down below to get that. Number two, along with making sure you have the correct size package that you're going to be shipping your product in, you need to make sure that you have the proper filler and protection. That means bubble wrap things that you need to bubble wrap. If there's a gap in your box, have some paper on hand to be able to rip up and crumple and fill in those spaces. You want everything to be packaged nice and tight to be able to get to your customer all in one piece. You guys might laugh at me at this one, but it's actually really important. You want good packing tape. Sometimes we have not had good packing tape with us and we have used cheaper tape or duct tape or something like that, and it has sometimes fallen off the boxes or doesn't adhere very well around it. Especially if you have something that's relatively heavy in a box, you really want to make sure you have a good quality tape to make sure everything in that package is secure. Overall, guys, keep it safe. Keep everything safe, especially if it's breakable, like a mug or something like that. Make sure you pack it with care. Make sure you pack all the little nooks and crannies to get it there. You want everything to be safe as it's there to your customer. You don't know how far it's traveling or anything like that. Make sure you keep it safe, and also, guys, keep it professional. If you want to make something more to your brand, you can choose bubble mailers that are a certain color. Always add a little thank you card and care instructions in all of your packages. That will make you seem very professional as well. Well, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video and all of the information in it. If you are inspired and ready to take on mastering your own business and building it up from the ground up, allow us to help you by clicking that first link down below and seeing just what we can offer you. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Leave a comment in the comment section below if you have any questions, and go ahead and subscribe and ring that bell if you want to get notified for all the amazing content we have here. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.